now we're moving into a phase of AI where human creativity is going to tell where this thing goes next. Who's going to think of a use case that hasn't been thought of yet? Who's going to
No.
think about how we can use AI to do something that was previously unconceived? So I'd say if you have a willingness to learn, a willingness to adapt, curiosity, and creativity, and are able to use your imagination, this is definitely something that you can get into for the long term.
I would like to add, expand your network and network on all social media platforms, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. There's people out there like you. You will find your
Mhm.
tribe. You will find people that share the same goals and values and whatever desired outcome you have for your life. Those people are out there, and we are blessed enough to have those people in our community as well. And that's what really keeps us going.
Hello, Julian. Hi, Alicia. How are you?
Doing very well, very well. Thank you for having us, Wilson.
Yes,
Yeah.
doing very, very good. Thank you.
And this happens to be the first time I'm having two participants on the podcast at the same time. So I'm super excited about this. Okay, maybe a brief round of introductions. Ladies first. Let's start with that.
No, yeah, of course, of course. Well, thank you for having both of us on your podcast. We like to say that we work better, as two, bringing into a one type of demographic, especially when it comes to the business. So thank you. We really appreciate it. Well, hello everyone. My name is Alecia Maximo. I'm the co-founder and also the CEO of Maxi AI. And we are here to help our customers and our clients learn and educate them on how they can use the best AI tools to get ahead in their business or in their career.
Okay, thank you. Julian?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Julian Harris. I'm also the co-founder with Alecia of Maxi AI. We're a full-fledged AI automation agency. We've been in business for a little over half of a year, and we specialize in streamlining businesses' processes and helping them drive sales with AI. And so thank you so much for having us, Wilson.
Good. Thank you for making that time for all of this. So AI, it's no longer something of the future. It's something that is here now and will keep evolving. But what are your thoughts? If I think people are already amazed at what we can do with these tools. Let's just play with our imaginations. Where do you see AI taking us to in the next couple of years? Anyone?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Um,
Oh, go ahead,
Go
Julian.
ahead,
Go
Alicia.
ahead. No, you go first.
So I think AI is a wonderful phenomena. I think there's a lot of fear surrounding it. But Alicia and myself, if I can speak for both of us, we're big believers in what we create in imagination will become the reality. What we create in our minds ends up becoming what we create in our external world. And being aware of all this fear regarding AI, we like to imagine the positives that AI can accomplish. So for us, um, in terms of businesses, there's a lot that AI can be utilized to save business owners time, but also drive revenue. So for us, AI is something exciting. It's something that promotes us to use our imagination for use cases for the future. And it's something we're very confident in that will be a positive thing and not so much a negative thing. We don't believe that AI is going to take over the world and cause another Terminator type scenario.
No, yeah, of course, of course. I definitely agree with Julian as far as I see AI as far as a platform where it can educate people on the positive aspects on how to use it and also how it can improve the work that they do, right? Any key aspects of this can inspire personal growth, using the imagination to create your reality and understanding how you can manifest whatever your desires are as far as your dream job or becoming an entrepreneur, but with the help of using AI to their advantage and in their own way. There's so many apps and so many different platforms today. So I would say 2, 3 years from now, I feel like it's going to be more regulated and there's going to be easier access to
Mm.
AI. And I'm just really excited to see where it's going to go and how humans can have easier access and also be educated on how to adopt it on their own terms and learn at their own pace as well on how to use it to their advantage.
Yeah, very good. I
Mhm.
love the fact you talked about the personal development, the business
Mhm.
aspect,
Yes.
value generation, and all of that. So let's start with personal development, and then we'll go into the business part of things.
Mhm.
What are some areas you feel AI can help people develop faster and better than probably traditional methods where you have to do things yourself?
I'll jump in on this one. I think
Yeah.
AI is introducing a bit of a paradigm shift, right?
Hmm.
We're used to finding information that's relevant to ourselves via search engines like Google, right? Where we can put in a query and we'll have to search through different links to find the information that resonates the most with us. I think AI is an incredible tool for personal development because unlike Google, you can't tell Google who you are. You can't make Google understand who you are and what you're looking for specifically. But with AI, you can prompt it and let it know who you are in terms, let's say you're looking to improve your physical fitness, right? You can give
Yeah.
AI or ChatGPT, you can give it your weight, your body fat percentage, your preferred workouts, and it can craft and tailor something that's unique to you and will get you the best results because it's operating from a frame of mind where it understands the point that you're currently at. I think that's one of the biggest facets of AI that can be useful for personal development because you can really allow it to understand you and let it know what your needs are and for it to relate back to you the most effective information. And I think that goes with everything. There's even times that I'll use it for things like meditation. I'm a big fan of
Mm.
meditation. I believe it's a wonderful measure to implement when it comes to controlling the mind and your emotions. And there's been times where I can go on ChatGPT and say, hey, I'm looking to gain this from my meditative session. What would you recommend I focus on during this session? And it can give something very tailored to what I'm looking for. In retrospect, to something like Google, it might take me 15 to 20 minutes to sort through all of the pages, all of the links to find something that I feel resonates with me. So I'd say that's the biggest thing that I've experienced is allowing it to understand you in a way that nothing else can.
Mm. No, spot on. So Julian is for self meditation or for meditation. How about you?
No, yeah, of course. I would like to say that I definitely see AI more as like your best friend that you can go to and have it understand you and your needs and what you're looking for. And as far as the response that you're looking for from ChatGPT, I was using that as example because ChatGPT is a very popular platform at the moment and people have access to it. For me personally, I like to use AI to create ideas and also to build out structures for me. I'm all about a to-do list or organizing my thoughts, especially on that type of platform. So I definitely use it to help me organize a strategy and a to-do list as far as my day to day, and also give me a timestamp. I find it really does help me organize my day as far as emails and working on Maxi AI as well. But I really love the fact that I can tell it a problem or spit out my ideas or train it to understand where I'm coming from. And then it gives me the answer that I'm looking for. It's definitely a tool to help you get to the next step. And I feel like it's really helping me view from a different point of view, or also someone that I see on the internet that I'm inspired by, or I love like their content. I would use that to put into Chat GBT and say, oh, hey, I really like this type of content. How can I make this my own? So I feel like it's really great on those terms. It gives you an extra confidence. It gives me an extra boost to create something that I'm not too sure about, or I need extra help on creating, and it spits out a phenomenal answer or a a phenomenal piece of content that I can create and have confidence in. So I really like using AI on those terms, especially for organization. As far as Julian was saying, for Google, Google doesn't really know who you are or what you're looking for. You just type in and it gives you like a whole bunch of options. With AI, you can really train it to your own point of view and make it spit out an answer that exact like to actually, I would say, to spit out exactly what you're looking for. So I really like using AI on those terms.
Oh, well, good. For me, I
Yeah.
like the word you said, confidence.
Hmm.
So I also use AI I ideate a lot because I do a lot of writing as well. So
Hmm.
I also use AI to refine and clean and make it sound like what I want. So I give it my way of thinking, my
Hmm.
voice, my attitude, and just tell it to clean it up for me, make it look better. So now let's go into business. I think a lot of businesses have sprung up from this AI drive, and more will still come up. It's creating a new segment altogether for business. So Maxi AI, what is the goal? How are you distinguishing yourself in this pool? How are you leveraging it, and how are you distinguishing yourself?
Of course. I would definitely say with Maxi AI, AI services are all over the internet now. It's super important, especially as both of us and as individuals who are target audiences, is that the branding and the why is super important, especially
Mm,
in tech sales and AI as well. So I would say, like for me and my core mission is to figure out a way to utilize Maxi AI for personal growth and also create a type of community and access to blend these concepts together in creative ways to help with personal growth, whether it's in health and wellness, building wealth and planning, to all the curious minds out there. I would love to state that we're looking to accomplish and point out and attract people their desired outcome of becoming their future best version of themselves by integrating AI into their plan. So I would say that would be my core ambition as an individual with Max AI. But I definitely would like to add that we're definitely here to create that type of community and welcome these people into this space to say like it's okay. AI is a safe space. There's a lot of there's a lot of I would say hype about AI, but I feel like it's
yeah,
really important to let people know that like we're actually here to help them, then sell them a service, right? When it comes to B2B business and B2C, I feel like the biggest difference when you're looking at the two is why are people buying your service or why are people so able to trust us? It's because that we can relate to the human next to us. We can relate to the fear that they're having, AI taking their jobs, or looking at all these apps and not like knowing which one is good for them or that's
yeah,
actually going to help them. So I'm here to create like a comfortable space for our clients or for our customers to see how can we give them the AI tools or push those AI tools to make it work for them or whatever they're trying to accomplish. And I feel like the why is more we're just here to help people adopt this technology to their best ability and show them that it's a safe space. You know, don't be so scared of AI. Technology is going to be here no matter what. AI is definitely not going anywhere. But on the business side, I would say it's so important to build that long-term relationship with the clients and the people around you in that type of community. And I love the people that we've been speaking to so far in the community that we've been welcomed into as well, and the different type of niches that we're working in. And I think that it's super important for me to make sure that like I'm here to pursue the customer and the client's needs first before putting my own needs first. As far as like, yes, we have a service to sell, but how can we help you utilize these tools to make sure that you're getting everything that you need out of it, which is the desired outcome?
okay. Julie, you want to add something? Your perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say what distinguishes us and differentiates us from others in the AI space is that we operate as a full service automation agency. A lot of the tools we see out there related to AI, it's either you buy into a SaaS platform or it's an app, a web-based app, or a tool that's used for something very specifically. But what we do is very bespoke and custom, and we come into each business and we give it a top to bottom look, and we identify and pinpoint all of the ways AI can be integrated, specifically integrations that resolve pain points that the business owner is feeling. So I'd say, what makes this very unique is that we come in and we seamlessly integrate the AI into your existing systems and what you're doing, and not so much giving a band-aid solution. And sometimes this can take a good bit of time to really get into the woodwork of a business and figure out what tools we have in our wheelhouse that can be effective and valuable to them. We like to make this as minimal effort for the people who work with us as possible. We like to come in, do most of the heavy lifting, and then make sure they're trained properly on how to maintain the system. So I'd say that's definitely what makes us a little bit different, is that, it's a completely custom, done for you process, and less of a commoditized product that we just give to you and say, have at it. We hope it works out for you. It's a very, it's a very intimate process where we take each step with the business to figure out how to achieve those goals that they're looking for. And that's a big part of the process as well. We like to put on the table exactly what it is the business owner is looking to accomplish by adopting AI. For some people, it's just simple as they want to adopt AI so they can stay competitive, right? Even being able to
Yeah.
say that they have AI integrated is a big step up. Other people are looking for it to solve more minute and specific problems. So whatever the case is, we like to take that hands-on approach with our clients and make sure that they're getting what they expect and that we're delivering value in a massive way.
Good. Responsibility now. I think let's just talk about responsible AI, right? One of the reasons people are scared is because they don't fully understand what some of the information, some of the SaaS platforms are getting from their AI services. They're taking, and where that information is. So how do you try to mitigate that? Or how do you assure your customers that at the end of the day, if you use AI, your information is safe, nobody's going to use, it's not going to be used against you, and things like that? How do you help them get into that comfort zone? Because it's always a pain point when I talk to people about AI.
Yeah. I'll hop in. I think it's important to know that with our services, we're in the business of creating AI assistants for businesses. So a lot of the time, we don't put in sensitive data to those assistants.
Okay.
We tell businesses when we come in that we need the bare basics of data that's required for this agent to function properly. The more sensitive information that could come through would be from the user side. Any information that they're giving about them personally that's being forwarded to the business. But outside of that, we make sure that the developers that we work with, they prioritize data safety, making sure that a lot of the times the information isn't very sensitive for these assistants that businesses are looking for. But if it's a more complex project where their more sensitive data is going to be included, we'll have our developers custom code an LLM or build a local model that exists
Sure.
solely on their servers, in somewhere where they can control the flow of information. But honestly, that's a problem we run into very seldomly. Like I said, a lot of the times the assistants we're creating, they don't need to include much of the company's private data. It's more so that the information they're collecting from the user. But we do have a number of measures to make sure that even that information is secured, so to speak.
Okay. All right, so we've been talking AI, and this podcast is not only for techie people like yourselves. There are other aspects of life,
Yes.
and this is the fun part, right? Because there are humans at the back end and everything. You had to move into this quite early, like almost the start of your career, and starting a business. I don't know how long you worked with other corporate organizations, but I would guess not for so long. But how has this journey been from a business perspective, from a personal perspective, um, starting off something and watching it grow with all the competition we have around? What keeps you going? How do you know it's going to succeed? I know
No,
so
of
many
course.
questions there, but just
Yeah,
yeah.
no, for sure, for sure. I would say from my journey, I definitely would like to add from the beginning, as far as when I was employed by an employer, I was noticing things from the company that were being completed, right? They weren't focusing on the three Ps, I like to call it, which we included into Max AI, which is how we process the information, and then how can we improve the platform and organize it to enhance the people's work, and also how to enhance their own processes and systems to accelerate the process and the work performance. So when I was looking at the context of at my previous job, I was like, okay, how can I come up with a business strategy without looking at AI before on how to improve my own skill in that specific field where I was working before? So when I was speaking to my employer about how to enhance or bring up different ideas or bringing more people on the team and being more of having more of a team working environment, they were kind of shutting it down and kind of like, oh, Alicia, why are you trying to change things? I was just like, we can all work together. If we add a new system or bring more people on, we can increase our work performance and be more organized and be happy about the work that we're doing. So I feel like a lot of companies struggle when it comes to focusing on the people and how their work and actually listening to their ideas to see how can they make their company better or how can they be more efficient at their work or the projects that they're getting done. And I took that as far as like being accountable. I was like, okay, I know I'm a great employee, but how can I flip this and create something for other people as well? They're struggling with the same thing I was struggling with my previous employer. So that's where Max AI came about. As far as during when you're saying competition, when we were looking at the AI platform, we were looking at people that were selling AI education on how to create your own AI automation agency. And we're like, oh, this is amazing. I was like, this is a game changer because AI is a new fad and everyone's getting into it. And there is more and more competition every single day. But I was just like, okay, I was more focused on the people and how we can help them because it's about them. I feel like we're
Yeah.
always thinking about me, how can I help myself? Which is understandable because we have to, survive, right? But I was
Mhm.
thinking on my own terms as far as like, okay, since I was struggling with this before, I don't want other people to struggle with the same thing. So how can we use AI to help people be more efficient either in their careers or also explore or put their foot into being a business owner as well? So I definitely think that it was kind of brought to my advantage when we were looking at these AI people that were selling the education on the how to, and I looked at it as far as like, okay, how can we come in and educate people on these terms as far as like, okay, maybe they don't want to create an AI automation agency, maybe they want to learn how to use AI to their advantage when it comes to social media management or expanding on their platform, whatever, when you're speaking about influencing or selling things online and things like that. On the creative side, AI is doing amazing. There's so many
Yeah.
different tools and different ways to create different types of social media content, which I love. I think that's something that I experience where people are really using AI to their advantage, especially on social media. But from my experience, I think that's my why is like how can I change the narrative of working a 9 to 5 and trying to do the best that you can do, but the people around you are trying to do the same thing, but it's the employer or the company that's not really focused on enhancing the people's performance or their work and making their life or their job easier. And then mixing that into Max AI. So we like to focus now on how can we enhance the people's work and whatever they're doing, social media, digital marketing, real estate, anything really, right? And how can we create their own platforms and integrate it into their business with these AI tools? I definitely would say that my journey through this process has been an uphill battle as far as creating different strategies and connecting with different people and just taking my time and being patient on creating the education part of AI. When we meet with different clients, different people that want to speak, the first thing I ask is, what do you know about AI? Do you know how to use Chat GPT? Do you know the different prompts? And then I like to go on from there as far as their experience and like what they're afraid of. And that kind of gives me a little feel on how that person feels about AI and how to use it. And then the idea light bulb comes off as far as like, okay, great. They know this information. How can I introduce them to more information and make them a little less scared and make them a little bit more comfortable on how to use AI on their own terms at their own pace. So I would say that's a little bit of my journey and how I like to say how I got started with Max AI, and then Julian here, he's been a great help bringing all this together. But I really do want to open people's minds as far as AI is definitely here to stay, but you have the advantage at your fingertips with the internet. Thank God for the internet, because I don't know where we would be as far as writing letters like back in the day, right? But I like to say that I want to give people the advantage and the hope that AI can really help change their view on how to enhance their work or get started into any type of business that they put their mind to.
Hey, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, of
Julian,
course.
what was your own journey? What was it
Yeah, I'd
like?
say piggybacking off of what Alecia said, it's at times it's definitely been an uphill battle. We've run into our fair share of obstacles, especially initially. There were a number of different questions that we had to figure out. We knew we wanted to, our primary purpose was to bring value to businesses via AI. So that much we knew. How we were going to do that initially, we had to carve out of marble, so to speak. There were so many different possible service offerings. There were so many different offers. We struggled in the beginning to figure out what it was we actually wanted to provide people with. And, it's one of those things where they say, a jack of all trades, but a master of none. We ran into that in the beginning where we were casting too broad of a net and we were simply just trying to, bring AI to anybody who was willing to adopt it, and that led us to a number of different projects, and in the sense where every project was different, every project was super custom. That for us in the beginning, it was hard to figure out how we could scale that. So I would say that was our immediate obstacle in figuring that out. Alecia can attest that we were banging our heads against the desk for weeks at a time, really trying to get a handle on who we were going to be as an agency and what was going to be our sweet spot, so to speak. And I'd say that's something that we're just as of recently actually kind of figuring out, and getting over. And then I'd say another obstacle that we didn't really foresee was uh, the decision making cycle that comes with something like this, right? This is something that for a lot of business owners, it's a big step to make, especially since there's not too much known about AI right now.
Yeah.
There's not years of data you can review. There's not a ton of different use cases for some of these things we're offering. So a lot of it has to do with establishing trust to the business owners. And coming in, we had expected this to be a bit more like you know, I guess your classical sense of a business where quick turnaround, we're selling
Yeah.
people pretty quickly. But we were met with the reality that there's a lot of boxes to be checked when it comes to the decision making of a business, right? Depending on the size of the business, there might be, 10 to 15 people who need to check off on some of these things. And for us initially, it was a bit discouraging at the amount of time we were waiting, so to
Yeah.
speak. Eventually, once we kind of learned the lay of the land, it became something that was expected. That we're not trying to shoot for the moon on that first conversation or even the second conversation, but that this would be a process that we went through with the business owner to establish that trust, allow them to figure out how this could work for their business, and just being patient along the way. And I'd say it's definitely something that we didn't want to learn initially. We thought that there was a better way, there was a faster way to convince them to sell them. And now we're under the impression that we have to come in with low expectations and just seek to provide the highest amount of value and and do just that. So I'd say that was our second biggest obstacle was getting used to that decision making cycle when it comes to business, because this is Alecia and I's first shot at a B2B business. You know, I have a
Mhm.
small experience with small businesses like lifestyle brands, which are more business to consumer. But you know, it never included that wait time of, you know,
Yeah.
you can sell them, they can agree, they can let you know they want to move forward, but there's still a lot to be done on their back end before they can initiate the
Mhm.
project. So I'd say that was those are the two biggest obstacles that we saw, you know, early on. And then one of your last questions, I think, were, you know, what makes us confident that we'll succeed in this?
Yeah.
I'd say one major reason is the reason that we got into this business was that we were confident that AI was going to be something that was going to be around for the long term, even outside of the initial hype. You know, for us, it's like I think we're still scratching the surface of what AI is capable of. Even
Yeah.
now, you know, we're dealing with very narrow, I guess, narrow generative AI, which is it provides information in a narrow context. But you know, there's big players like OpenAI, even Meta, who talk about an AGI or an artificial general intelligence, which you consider to be like a super intelligence. I think we're still a ways away from that, but it's exciting to see that this space has longevity. And you know, we knew that as long as we were focused on providing value to our clients and to the people we work with, that this could be something that we do for the long term. So this is definitely a long term game for us. You know, what we're offering today might not be what we're offering tomorrow. As you
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
AI is developing so quickly and so rapidly. It's moving at light speed, right? You know, every day there's a new development, especially with all the competition in the space. You know, with some of these bigger platforms like OpenAI, with Meta, with Google, there's always something new being added to our wheelhouse. So for us, it's a very exciting space to be in. You know, there's not much comfort involved, like I said, because it's a matter of constantly staying on your toes and
Yeah.
staying up to date with what's available. But we're confident that this is a space that isn't going anywhere, and that we have the assumption that as long as we adapt with the technology, there'll be a space for us to be successful in. As long as we prioritize what it is we're offering that's valuable to other people, that we shouldn't have a problem sticking around for the long haul.
Good. Yeah, like you said, it is evolving daily. In fact, I use AI every day, literally.
Oh yeah,
And each day I see a new feature. I'm like, okay,
Right.
I see a new way of response. But for me, it's exciting. I'm
Mhm.
not one
yeah.
of those scared of it. I'm really happy about it. Makes things faster. Now, finally, for someone out there, a young person who it's look the person is looking at starting something as well, right? But there's always that fear, and it's fine. I guess everyone faces that before you take that big step. Quickly, what would you say to that person? How can the person, you said how you know it will succeed for you, but what should that person look out for before starting? Because sometimes the expectations are very unrealistic. So maybe a couple of years down the line, they see both of you doing great stuff, and they're like, "Oh, I'll just start and it will work out." So what would you say to that person quickly before that person makes that decision? What advice would you give?
I'll hop in first.
Usually, yeah.
I think one of the biggest things to note is that prior to this business, Alecia and I had very little technical experience with AI, even with coding, right? And I'd like people to know that because of the time and the day and age we're in, there's a massive opportunity to get into AI, even though it might seem intimidating. Even the CEO of NVIDIA was quoted recently as saying that, you know, developing software, developing technological tools, uh, that used to be reserved for people who had extreme coding skills, who were engineers,
Yeah.
who knew what was happening under the hood, so to speak. But the owner of NVIDIA was saying that now we're moving into a natural language of coding where you can engage in a coding process simply by using your natural language, right? We've experienced that with ChatGPT, with being able to tell it, you know, there's been times where I needed to implement a certain code to one of the tools we're using,
Yeah.
and I've literally had ChatGPT write the code for me and gave it the feedback. You know, if I tried to use the code and put it into the tool I was using, it was like, hey, this isn't working. I would go back to ChatGPT and say, hey, I'm getting
Yeah.
this error. So saying all that, I'd like people to know that we're in a day and age where this technology is open and available via low to no code tools. So you don't have to have the technical background that 5 years ago, you couldn't get into something like this without having got a degree for it. So I like people to know that don't be intimidated by the technology because it's becoming easier for regular people to use and to really take advantage of. And for me, it's a matter of, uh, you know, exhibiting some courage. And if you know that, I'd say even just having a passion for technology could be your step into the door and a willingness to learn and to adapt. It can really take you far in this space. And I think especially now with, there's so many similar use cases for AI. Everybody's using it to generate content or using it to generate resumes, what have you. I'd say 80% of people are probably using something like ChatGPT for similar purposes. But the question becomes, is it so much about the technical ability as it is creativity? Now we're moving into a phase of AI where human creativity is going to tell where this thing goes next. Who's going to think of a use case that hasn't been thought of yet? Who's going to
No.
think about how we can use AI to do something that was previously unconceived? So I'd say if you have a willingness to learn, a willingness to adapt, curiosity, and creativity, and are able to use your imagination, this is definitely something that you can get into for the long term. And be graceful with yourself throughout the learning process. You don't have to just be in. Alecia and I find ourselves in this mode that because the AI space is moving so fast that we constantly need to keep up, right? We always feel like something's pushing us, like we're not moving fast enough. But as long as you stay patient and graceful with yourself, there's a lot that you can do in this space. And you know, I'm a believer personally that there's nobody else out in the world like you, right? You're a one of one copy. Only you have the perspective that you have. Only you have the experiences that you have. And those two things can be met with creativity to create something that nobody else could. So I'd say just be confident in your ability to create and to be imaginative with this technology.
Yes, I'd also like to add something. I would like to add, expand your network and network on all social media platforms, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. There's people out there like you. You will find your
Yeah.
tribe. You will find people that share the same goals and values and whatever desired outcome you have for your life. Those people are out there, and we are blessed enough to have those people in our community as well. And that's what really keeps us going. It's going to take more than two of us to create our own reality in our life. We need to come together as humans, as people, and support each other and give people recommendations or referrals to keep growing the business. And I definitely would say, expand that network and just keep going and explore different realms and explore different people and connect with people. There's so many people on the internet, so I can't stress this enough. Network your butt off if you want to create your own reality and use AI to your advantage and create whatever business you want to create, because it definitely helped us. It's definitely helped us to network and expand with the people that we're speaking to create this amazing vision that we have together. So network, guys.
Wow. Wonderful. And
Yeah.
thanks. I think it's,
Mhm.
yeah, where you give yourself grace, just like Julian
Mhm.
said, take it one
Mhm.
step at a time, believe and keep
Yes.
going and network.
Mhm.
You need help from people and
Mhm.
yeah, it always makes the journey easier. Thank you so much for making our time. We're already top of the hour. I know it goes so fast.
Yes.
Well, how
Yes,
can they
it
reach
does.
you if people want to connect with you? LinkedIn, where can they reach out?
Yeah, of course. So I have a LinkedIn. It's Alecia Maximo and it's Maxi AI. So just look me up on there. And then for our Instagram, it's maxai.io. Correct? Right, Julian?
Hmm.
Yes. And then do you want to say your socials too as well?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so you can
Feel free.
yeah, so you can find my AI page on Instagram under AI
Mhm.
Wealth Julio. Julio's a nickname that I go by. And then as Alecia said, you can find our website at maxi AI.io.
Okay. No, thanks. Thank you so much for making our time. It's for me, the first time I spoke to both of you, I was super inspired because I know not everyone has that, I'll say, courage to go after what they want and
Mhm.
creating something in a world that is constantly changing. So having to nail something and move with it. So thank you so much for making our time and enjoy the rest of your day.
Of
Thank you.
course.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
having
so,
us, Wilson.
yes, thank you, Wilson. Thank you so much.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day. Take care.